Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts. Hey, graduates, wagwan, wagwan. We're gonna go into this whole thing about the young man whose life was lost after the Jamaica Constabulary Force put him down. Yes, take him 3 points. And the Jamaican public stands by the JCF for their actions. Yes, indeed, because there are some who are complaining that they don't like jungle justice and they would have rather this man who was accused of taking the life of 9-year-old Kelsey Farragon, that they would have preferred him to go through the court system and get consequences, all of that. Let me ask you a question. Who is this going to cost? It's going to cost the Jamaican public tax dollars to put this criminal behind bars and to go through a whole legal process that is very time consuming. This gentleman, no, I take that word back. I'm not a gentleman. This low life that Uno says should have go through courts. It has been known that this man is a criminal. This man has been targeting children for a long time. It's not the first time him do it. You understand? And to hear Una say these things, I sometimes wonder if you know exactly what you're asking for. You want to give this man another opportunity to be bailed back into the streets. You want to give this man another opportunity to escape prison. What is it that you are looking for? People like this do not need to be amongst us in our society. And it is for this reason why many are clamoring for the penalty of death to be reintroduced. So while you may not be happy about jungle justice, the Jamaican public are totally satisfied that justice has been served. Now, did you even hear the mother of this man? I don't even want to call his name, graduates. Did you hear the mother of this man, how she demanded that they do not take him in alive because he's dangerous? In the recent article that was released in the Jamaica Star, the mother reiterates that even the death of her son was too easy a result for him. Her exact words were, "Me nah bat no pitney we do them wrongs. When you go out and do your crime, anything you get off of it, I feel business that me no responsible for it. Now because me bring you into this world, everything you do, people for come kill me for you. Me nah give up my life for nobody. Me no Jesus." This mother says that she lived in fear of this son, and that even though the angry residents of Job Spanish Town, had threatened her in the house after the situation where the Prime Minister visited the past Sunday, she still fears him more than anything else. She feared him. She also said that this man had something to do with his brother's death, his older brother, and that it was this death that caused her to draw a line in the sand. This older son had lost his life over in Gregory Park. She also mentioned that there was a long-term resentment from the deceased towards her because of the fact that she left this man's father, right? And when I say the deceased, I'm talking about the criminal deceased. He had resentment towards his mother because she never stayed with a man who was abusive. Now, when asked how she felt when she saw her son's body, her response was this: "Well, me did expect say when me look pan him, I would feel sad, feel breakdown, but no. When me look pan him and said, this is the way you want to go in? For a young youth, where a 30-year-old and you go at judges, look at you now." She then went on to say, "Me can't have no heart for you because of what you do to the little baby." The mother says she now feels relief now that the ordeal is over and that she can finally sleep and eat. The criminal allegedly received 2 gunshots, and to her, this was not enough punishment. Residents wished they had a part in his death. They were saying that they regretted that the police dealt with him so quickly. They wanted even further jungle justice. Now, that part, I'm going to say I would not wish for any resident to have a part in this. Let the police deal with it rather than you deal with it. Let no blood be on your hands. It was dealt with through legal channels, and that is what matters. Now, interestingly, the public's reaction to the mother when she saw the body and did not break down in tears was they were in disbelief. They could not understand how it is that she had no tears, no remorse, nor anything towards this man's death. She emphasized that if your son wrong, do not back him, do not protect him. When them wrong, them forget discipline for their wrongs. But interestingly, there has been some controversy around this mother because on an interview with Andre Stevens, this mother's sister claimed that the mom had originally defended her son and that she had tried to shield him from consequences for the previous incident with the 12-year-old. Now, I am not certain how true that necessarily is. It could just be her feelings, her gut feelings, as opposed to her evidenced, um, uh, situation. But either way you take it, for her to walk away feeling as though this woman was justifying or protecting her son, there must have been something there that was amiss. It is possible that after the death of this mother's older son, as a result of the criminals involvement, that her mind changed and her heart changed towards him and she realized that indeed he was a bad apple. Now, I'm going to say this: when our children do things that you never raised them to do, you never expected them to do, protecting them from their consequences is the worst thing that you could ever do, because all that seed does, that seed of bad energy, of corruption, of sins, all it does is grows into a more unbearable, unbreakable situation because they're already set in their ways in thinking that they can get away with doing wrong. The patterns that they develop become unhealthy and cyclical, meaning that they cannot stop because in their minds, once you have forgiven them over and over again, you keep forgiving them, so they have no reason to change. This is human nature. It doesn't just apply to mother and son, it applies to husband and wife, it applies to boyfriend and girlfriend, it applies to anybody. So clearly things have evolved with this lady and the way she has responded, but the public will ask the question, was this too late? Did this mother turn against her son too late? Did she give too many chances, too many opportunities for him to carry on being the way he is, that resulted in the loss of this 9-year-old's life? Should she have reacted as rashly from the onset, from the initial complaint, the initial charge? Did it have to get to this point where people are questioning whether or not she has raised her child properly or whether or not she's complicit with his actions? These are all good questions and certainly points of reflection for anybody who has a son or a child with criminal tendencies. Nobody's above this situation. I want you to understand that, because many people think that the way you raise your child is exactly how they're going to turn out. Many times as they grow, they make decisions that are beyond your guidance, beyond whatever you have ever inputted in this child. It could be outside influence, friends, things that they've picked up even on the media, that they go and they act out. So at some point, when you have got this spirit of rebellion in your child that refuses to bend, and they grow into adults that are untamable, you cannot take the blame for it, but you have to take a stand against it. Anyway, it is a sad situation for this mother, and even though she's saying that she's feeling nothing, I cannot help but think that she's going to reflect on the day when he was a baby, when he had all the potential, all the hope in the world, and that he was a more innocent version of his true self, that she will mourn this past child. She will mourn who he was and who he could have been. So even though she's putting all this bravado, this tough act, as though, listen, nothing phase her, it go affect her. It's only a matter of time. So I hope that there are people around her who will support her and give her the emotional courage to continue and to move on. But once again, we give thanks that he was not given the opportunity to do this again, to repeat this act, this cruel and tragic act against a minor. And we pray and lift up the family of Kelsey and pray that they're able to heal and to feel some degree of comfort knowing that he is no more. This is your girl, Head Teacher K.